So I got a lot of questions recently now, and people were asking, how do I know I'm in a relationship and not in a relationship? There are a lot of sheep today. As I said that we live in a generation today where we have a lot of sheep and with little or no idea of where the destination of this ship is going to. And sometimes we have a lot of sheep with little or no idea of what are the contents and what the ship carries, and it's very risky because life is too short. Life is too short to live at the risk of what you don't know. Knowledge is power. Okay, knowledge is very, very important and knowledge is very, very useful. Okay, so this evening quickly find out episode 1. So it's going to be an introduction, it's going to be a discovery, and I also want to see this opportunity and the privilege to say thank you guys, thank you all for as many that have been following on my different platforms, as many that have been making their comments, as many that have been, sending out their questions, calling to seek ideas. Okay, and I still maintain I'm not an authority. It's just by the mercy and the privilege. Okay, so how do I know I'm in a relationship? And then how do I know if this guy is not wasting my time and is not playing with me? And then vice versa. Okay, so it's going to be a very quick one and a short and a brief one. So now, before you get into a relationship, there are certain questions you need to ask yourself. Okay, but certain times people are in a hurry, and I speak more to the singles actually. So I'm talking about romantic relationship now. So people are in a hurry to actually go into what they don't know. People are in a hurry to make a temporary decision on a permanent situation. Okay, because relationship, in as much as people live with this notion of okay, I can just walk in and walk out, let's just flow in and flow out. No, now there is no relationship that leaves you the same. Okay, whether it was a relationship you went into intentionally, or you went into conditionally, or you went into situationally, or you even entangled yourself into. So there is never a relationship that leaves you the same. Okay, and that is why we need to be very, very sensitive and very, very careful when entering into a relationship. Okay, so I got a question. That is where I'll be starting from this evening. I got a question recently that stipulated in this way that okay, Mr. Sam, I'm in a relationship, supposedly, quote and unquote, I'm in a relationship where I'm just the one committing in every form of all endeavor, and this guy is not showing any appreciation, is not even showing any effort, is not making any effort, and yet I love this guy so much, and but I don't know what to do. Okay, and then when I started asking her some questions, I discovered that a lot of things were actually misplaced. Okay, and then I also got similar questions from another guy. Several persons asking the same question. Okay, I think this girl that I'm into, I think there are a lot of things that I don't understand. And whenever I try to ask questions, she just buff everything off. Okay, so that actually made me okay. Starting for the day, we have to go on with this episode of discovery. Okay, so in this episode of discovery, now number one thing I want to tell you is that when for the ladies, so if you're in a relationship and the guy have not defined that relationship, I mean from the onset, the guy have not told you, okay, I want us to get into this relationship because I want to marry you, then it means something is fishing. Okay, it means something is missing somewhere. Okay, now if the guy, one of the signs to discover to know if the guy is a player is that the guy is gonna tell you, let's flow, let's just keep flowing. No, let's keep weathering the weather. Okay, so when a guy that you've been into start telling you, let's just flow, now it is a sign that you may be in a playship, not a relationship. Okay, in a replayship. Okay, not in a relationship. Okay, or when the guy say let's just move. Now the question is, now move. Where are we moving to? Okay, because you cannot just see a vehicle that is going anywhere and you just decide to board the vehicle because you're going to a place. Okay, so relationship is like a journey. Now, before you embark on that journey, it means you need to have made your calculation. You need to have made you need to have made your arrangement. You need to have put yourself in place. You need to have checked yourself. Okay. So as I always say that now, if you're in a ship and you don't know the compass that leads you to the direction of the sailing of that ship, then you're bound to have a shipwreck. Okay, so if the guy for months, for weeks, for years have kept on telling you without any definition, without any goal, without any words, keep telling you, let's just flow. It is a sign that in you may be working with a player, okay, or you might have involved yourself with a player, okay. Now, and then another sign that you see, now I'm talking to the ladies first because most times also I want to also say something here. Most times, the world, the generation we live in, make it look like okay, it is only the guys that are players. No, I think we also have ladies that are players as well. Okay, but I think it comes much more from the guys. It comes much more from the guys. Okay. Now another thing is that how do you know as a lady that you are with a player and that you are in a relationship, not a relationship? Is when the guy have refused, you know, to make the relationship a commitment. When he's not committed to the relationship, okay, when he's not consistent with his commitment or with his words or with his vows. For example, when his actions speak different things and his words speak different things. It's like when the mind is saying something else and the heart is saying something else. Okay, so because we can't go into a relationship without the consideration of our intelligence. Some people go into a relationship with just emotions, without intelligence, and without putting their self in check. Okay, and then another thing is that some people go into a relationship when they are in a shattered situation, when they have been broken, they just want a companionship, and this happens more to the ladies, because they are broken from one relationship or the other. Now, instead of them to get healed and then move on to the next relationship, now they just want to get a companionship. Okay, now that is a bigger issue that makes many guys to take advantage of them. So one other way you discover that you're in you're relating with a player is when the guy, I'm talking about the guys now, when the guy keeps on telling you, let's just flow, okay, without definite definition, without definite plans, without definite goals, okay. Now, and then second thing is when his words do not correlate with his actions. Let me tell you something. It is easier said, I love you these days. Okay, the word I love you and many other words, you are the apple of my eye, you are everything, whatever. Most times people just say it for saying sake, without commitment, without affirmation of action. Okay, so when the action is not equal to the words affirmed, then you need to check out that it might be that you are with a player. Okay, now another thing you need to check out for the guys to know if the guy is a player or he meant his words is how often does he showcase you? I mean, how often does he introduce you to people that matters in his life? Now, let me also take exemption here. He must not always introduce you to the public, right? Okay, but is he willing? Has he been willing to let you to some people that are very close to him, to some people like his mentors, to some people like his teachers, people he respects, and this also takes a stage. It has to be with a stage, okay? Not a relationship that just starting today and then you're already expecting him to bring you to no. I mean a relationship that have been matured, a relationship that both of you have thought out things, okay? So if he has not been able to say, to bring you before some people that matters in his life, then it means there is possibility that you're actually with a player, okay? So this you need to also check out for. There may be a big possibility that you are with a player. Okay. Now, another thing you need to also check out for here is now. Let me just digress a little and go to the ladies. Okay. Now, why I say that most times it's as if it's only the guys that play. Okay. In course of my little teaching and little help by the mercies of God and relating with many both men, both women, both girls, and both boys. I've also come to discover that many ladies actually tend to be players, okay? In as much as it might not be so obvious. And many of them that tend to be players happens unknowingly to them that they don't even know that they are actually working in that line. So I will be telling you one or two things that will help you to know as a guy if you are with a player as a lady, for a lady. Okay, now if you're with a lady and this lady has so many men as her friend, okay, I'm not saying that this is an authentic uh, indicator or indication that your lady will be a player, but you need to watch out this. Now, if she has so many guys who are not just friends, but they are friends that do a lot of things for her. They are friends that whenever she needs something, she can rally around them and they will be able to, help her out and sort out this thing, then you need to be careful that she might be a player. Now, I also I also presume that you need to take exemption. Not all, okay, but for example, like myself, I have so many ladies around me because of what I do. Okay, so I'm not trying to defend myself here, but I'm giving you an instance. So there are also many ladies that have many guys around them. They might not actually also be a player, but how do you know these ladies are players? The second time we tell you now, a lady that is a player or that could be a player is a lady that whenever she demands something from you as a guy, okay, you don't meet up, she flames up. The lady that actually cares about you and that cherishes you wants to nurture you. Someone made a claim and said that the difference between a girlfriend and a woman or a girl and a woman is that the girl wants you to always, you know, do everything for her. Okay, but the woman wants both of you to do things together. Okay, so if the girl at every little demand that you could not meet up for flames up, then you need to check out and you need to start analyzing if this lady that I'm into is a player or if she's just playing with me. Okay, and then another thing is that both for the male and for the female, most times people ignorantly become players because of what they've been through, the kind of relationship they've been through, the kind of vulnerability they've encountered, what has happened to them in their past relationship. And then because of this, they pull up defense for themselves and they don't want to be a victim and they want to retain their power, quote and unquote. Okay, so that is why when you're in a relationship, it is very, very important that you guys communicate, you guys talk out things, okay, you guys ask questions. When things are not clear, you need to ask. When things are not clear, you need to, make excuses as well as ask questions. What things that you're not clear about, okay? Now, the top things for you to know, I've talked about the man, to know about the man, when the guy just say, let's flow, it means he might be a player. And then when the guy is someone that his actions do not correlate with his words, it can also be that he's a player. And then when the guy is not willing to make the relationship a bit open, not at the starting stage, but when the relationship has matured to extent, when consent has been thrown in, and then he's not able to make it open, he's open to himself because he wants to still enjoy other things. He wants to have multiple relationships. He wants to hang out with other persons. He wants to, in the context of the word, being flirtatious, flirting, both the word flirt is always used more for the female, but I believe both men also flirt. So these are the things you need to check out for. Okay, why we look at fan art in this episode one, we are just making introduction and discovery. What are the symptoms you need to discover? And then after the symptoms, the next episode will be telling us how do you diagnose these things, and then how do you now find out if these things are involved in your relationship, and then how do you, manage these things, either taking off by recovering yourself or either readjusting. Okay. Now, another thing you need to know to discover if your lady is a player, okay, is when a section of when she makes demand, you don't meet up, she flames up. Another thing is women understand, especially a player, understand that the power of the anger of a woman is a big defeat or a big blow shot at a man. Okay, because a guy that really cares about a lady, a guy that really loves a lady, will not want his lady rather, to be angry. Okay, vice versa. Okay, because there are guys that threaten their ladies like, okay, if you're not giving me this, I'm opting out from this relationship. If you're not giving me that, I'm opting out from this relationship. These are signs you need to watch out for. Okay, these are signs you need to watch out for. And then a guy that wastes your time is another thing. He's not telling you, okay, this relationship, I think it's high time we got into uh, something, something not ordinary of secret, okay, but it's high time we got into, deliberation of how we make a family, planning of the future, and then tie the share. Okay, so these are the reasons, or these are some symptoms you need to watch out for. So when you start, or if you're already seeing this, and then if you're watching me and you've asked this kind of questions, I believe with what I'm saying now, it will be able to help you. Okay, there are many signs, there are many symptoms to see, there are many red flags, as we call them in a relationship sense. Okay, to see now if the guy is actually a player, or if the girl is actually a player. So if you discover any of these things, ask questions. Okay, ask questions. And then another thing you need to discover is that how do you know if a guy is a player? When you as a lady bring up certain questions and the guy doesn't attend to them, and this is not once, this is not twice, this is consistent action. Okay, then you need to discover that he might be a player. Okay, then another thing I want to quickly let us understand here: if you're with a player, or if you're with if you're with a player or not, is that you need to understand that when the guy always make excuses, yeah, when the guy always make excuses, when he promised you something, or when he has promised you something, and only for you to discover that on the day that he's supposed to execute his promise, then he gives excuse, then that will also give you a sign that this guy might be a player. Okay, that should give you a sign that this guy might also be a player. Okay, so how often does he give excuses? I'm not saying that you shouldn't give room for excuses. Okay, you should, but if he's frequent with his excuses consistently, like he breaks every appointment, okay, he breaks every promise that he gives to you, okay, you need to watch out for this. Okay, another thing you need to watch out for, vice versa. Okay, as I speak about the guys, I speak about the ladies. Okay, though there are little differences, okay, and different ways these things happens. Okay, now to also know if a guy is a player or if you are in a relationship, is that if the guy always tells you that he's busy, my friend, for my little work in terms of relationship and my little ways of listening, I can at least tell you that nobody on this planet Earth is ever 24 hours busy. And also, we create priority for something that is important for us. So something that is important for you, you're going to create priority for it. Okay, you create priority for something that is important. Okay, so if the guy keeps telling you all the time that he's busy, it may be a sign that you need to, walk away from that kind of relationship. Okay, so we've looked at for the guys, he's always telling you, let's flow. Okay, it's high time, I think, or you should ask a question: where are we flowing to? Okay, another thing is when he's full of excuses. Okay, when he's full of excuses, excuses upon excuses. Okay, and then when he's always busy, then when he's always busy, he always says you, I'm busy, I am busy, I am busy, without coherent and cogent reasons. Okay, okay, vice versa as well. Okay, another thing is this guy, how many does he surround himself with a lot of women? And when you bring forth such questions, what does he tell you? Okay, it's not a wrong thing. It's not a bad idea to have so much friends, ladies or men. Okay, vice versa. But whenever an issue comes up, and then he uses those ladies to defend you. For example, he needs something from you. Okay, and then you tell him, at the moment you don't have, and then he tells you A does not. Whenever he needs something, Miss A can easily offer such thing, and also vice versa for the ladies. So I believe with this you will be able to diagnose, okay, if you are in a relationship or if you are in a relationship. Okay, so in summary, it's don't it is not too late at the moment to discover where you are. Okay, it's not too late, and also it's not also too late to make a decision where you are now. Okay, this is a new year, and we are starting this new year with a lot of things. So this year is a year you need a clear directions on several things. So if there are symptoms, if there are signs you've cross-examined and you've seen that are looking like what I just said, or some things you've heard before, or some things you're going to see here in the episode 2, where we'll be doing the diagnosis and cross-examination, and then where I'll be speaking in details and then bringing one or two speakers with us. Now, it's time you need to, you actually, it's high time you left, okay? And then because if someone is wasting your time, the person is wasting your life. Okay, because time is the currency of life. And without a relationship, if your relationship is not in the right place, a lot of things in your life is gonna go wrong. Okay, I want to say you can still get out the best you want only if you want. And remember, you need to love yourself deeper and deeper. Because as I'm speaking, a lot of people will tell me, I'll be in a relationship for 4 years, for 6 years, for 8 years, for 5 years, for 2 months, for 1 year, for 10 months. And I'm just realizing these things now. And I don't know what to do. No, from what you're hearing now, you know what to do. So ask questions. And if you don't get answers that are satisfactory, then you need to say goodbye to this relationship. Okay. And I believe with this, and as we look forward seeing the discovery aspect and the diagnosis that will be made, you will be able to better your relationship, and then your relationship will be able to give you the best that you want, and also you'll be able to know more and more what to do. I want to say have a wonderful evening, have a wonderful morning wherever you are, and have a wonderful afternoon. And as you implement most of these things, and put them into check, and then also put your emotion into check, and also do what I always let people to know. Always go back. Look at yourself. Am I actually who to enter the relationship, or did I just enter the relationship because I needed a companionship? And most times, this relationship comes up as a result of you letting your issues with people, and then people taking advantage of it. Okay, and then God will help you. I want to say I love you. I want to say you're the best. God bless you. And share this video, make your comments, listen, and remain the best. I love you all. God bless you. Happy New Year once again.